Today we're going to Ljubljana. Ljubljana is the capital of Slovenia, in Central Europe. The city sits on the Ljubljanica River, roughly in the middle of the country, which makes it a logical stop on a wider Slovenia trip. For a capital, Ljubljana is unusually compact. The old center is easy to explore on foot, and much of the first visit happens around the river, the bridges, and the castle hill. The city was named European Green Capital in 2016, and you notice that most clearly in the center. Many streets are pedestrian-friendly, cyclists are part of daily life, and the scale feels much smaller than in most European capitals. A good place to start is Prešeren Square. This is one of the main meeting points in the city, and it immediately helps you understand the center. The river is close, the old town is just across the bridges, and the pink Franciscan church gives the square its most recognizable image. The church is officially the Franciscan Church of the Annunciation. Its Baroque facade was added in the early 18th century, and the salmon pink color is one of the reasons this spot is so easy to remember. Also, look for the statue of Franz Prešeren, Slovenia's national poet. His name is on the square, and that already tells you something about Ljubljana. This is a capital where literature, architecture, and everyday city life meet in a small space. Use this square as your orientation point. From here, the city opens in several directions without becoming confusing. The Triple Bridge is one of Ljubljana's best pieces of practical design. Originally, this was one main stone bridge. In the 1930s, architect Jože Plečnik added two side bridges for pedestrians instead of simply making the original bridge wider. That decision changed the whole crossing. It is still a way to get from one side of the river to the other, but it also works as an entrance into the old town and as a public space where people naturally slow down. Plečnik is the key name to remember in Ljubljana. He shaped bridges, riverbanks, market halls, and public spaces, not just individual buildings. The Ljubljanica River is the easiest way to read the center. If you follow the riverbanks, you naturally pass bridges, cafes, market areas, side streets, and views toward the castle hill. You do not need a complicated route at the beginning. The river gives the city a clear line. What makes it useful is that it is not separated from daily life. People do not only look at the Ljubljanica from a distance. They walk beside it, cross it, sit near it, and use it as a natural guide through the center. This is also where Plečnik's work matters again. The embankments help turn the riverfront into a real public space, not just the edge of the water. For a first walk, keep it simple. Stay close to the river and let the bridges decide your next turn. Ljubljana's Central Market is one of the best places to see the city at street level. It is spread around the open-air market spaces near the old town, with fruit, vegetables, flowers, local products, and food stalls, depending on the day and season. The important architectural detail is the covered market hall along the river. This was designed by Jože Plečnik, and it follows the curve of the Ljubljanica instead of turning the market into a separate shopping block. That is why this stop fits the city so well. It connects food, local routines, the river, and architecture in one area. St. Nicholas Cathedral is close to the market, so it fits naturally into the same part of the route. From outside, look for the Green Dome and the Twin Towers. They make the cathedral one of the clearest landmarks in the old center. The exterior is not the most dramatic part. The better details are at the entrance and inside. The bronze doors are worth a closer look because their reliefs show scenes from the history of Christianity in Slovenia. They make the entrance specific to this place, not just another church doorway. Inside, the cathedral is much richer than the outside suggests. Baroque decoration, painted ceilings, gold details, and a bright interior that contrasts with the narrow streets outside. This is a short stop, but not a filler stop. The Dragon Bridge gives Ljubljana its strongest symbol. The dragon appears on the city's coat of arms and across souvenirs and small city details, but this bridge is where the symbol becomes impossible to miss. At the corners, large dragon figures guard the crossing. They are dramatic, slightly theatrical, and much more memorable than a normal bridge decoration. The bridge itself dates from the early 20th century, so it also belongs to a more modern layer of Ljubljana than the medieval-looking old town. Ljubljana Castle began as a medieval fortress above the old town. The site is linked to the 11th century, and later rebuilding gave the castle much of its present shape. Its function changed over time: fortress, residence, barracks, hospital, and prison. Today, it works as a cultural site, with exhibitions, events, and the funicular bringing visitors up from the center. Go up for the castle first, and then use the view as a bonus. From the hill, you can see the old town, the river, and the compact layout of Ljubljana below. The main streets and squares give you the classic old center setting: facades, fountains, small shops, restaurants, and narrow lanes that follow the shape of the hill. But the detail that makes this stop sharper is Locksmith Street. It is a narrow passageway, and it is easy to miss if you do not know it is there. In the channel along the ground are hundreds of small bronze faces, each with a different expression. They are the work of Slovenian sculptor Jakov Brdar, and they turn a simple alley into one of the strangest small details in the city. The National Museum of Slovenia is the strongest museum choice if you want one clear object with a real story. That object is the Neanderthal flute. It was found at Divji Babe, an archaeological site in Slovenia, and is often presented as one of the oldest musical instruments in the world. That is why it matters. This is not just an ancient item behind glass. It raises a much bigger question. How early did humans, or human relatives, begin making intentional sound and music? The museum also contains archaeological finds, Roman objects, jewelry, pottery, and material from different periods of Slovenian history. But for a first visit, the flute gives the museum its strongest focus. Metelkova is the biggest contrast in this guide. It started as a military barracks and later developed into an autonomous cultural and alternative space. Today, it is known for street art, painted facades, unusual sculptures, underground venues, and a rougher visual style than the old town. This stop needs a realistic expectation. Metelkova is not polished, and it is not trying to be. The point is the contrast. After Plečnik's bridges, the market, the castle, and the old streets, this area shows a different side of Ljubljana's cultural life. For most visitors, the easiest way to include it is during the day, as a short street art stop. One practical tip for Ljubljana: use the river as your map and the castle hill as your reference point. If you lose your sense of direction, return to the Ljubljanica. From the riverbanks, you are quickly back near the main bridges, the market, and the old town. If you enjoyed this guide, subscribe for free to Sophie's Places to See, so you do not miss the next cities. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.